This episode of Captured Pittsburgh's Darkroom has been made possible in part by contributions from Small Universe Media and Captured Identity. Today we're featuring the song Dirty Bass by Heathosaur.
And if I forget to kill Captured Pittsburgh Darkroom in the intro, remind me and just stop it. We'll start over. Oh. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Captured Pittsburgh Darkroom. I'm Jason Kodat with Captured Pittsburgh, and as usual on every episode, we're sitting down with one of the artists who's lucky enough to be included in a gallery. In this case, we're sitting here with Michael Holl, who is part of the March Gallery, which was music-themed. Thanks for coming on.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So we're going to start with just a little bit of introduction. Who are you, and what do you do?
Michael Holl, Holl Photography. My full-time job is a music teacher at Chartreuse Valley.
Okay. So photography then is more of a hobby or avocation or a part-time job for you?
Part-time job, maybe future career after teaching. I think I'm going to pursue that.
Okay. Always good to have future plans, I guess.
Absolutely.
And how did you get started with photography?
Well, I've always liked taking pictures and always had to point and shoots and different things and try to catch a couple angles on vacations. But a couple of years ago, my daughter was graduating and she's going into art, so we got her a pretty good camera, and but she wouldn't let me touch it. So I eventually convinced her that during her graduation ceremony, I wanted to take pictures and try to use them. So she gave me a quick lesson on how to make it work, and she basically put it in automatic and let me take pictures, and then I started exploring and really, really liked it. And apparently I liked it enough that she convinced Mom to get me a camera for Christmas, and then I kind of went crazy after that.
Very good. So you kind of got into this as a result of other people's photography work.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you ever remember the very first picture you took?
Yeah, we went out Christmas, might have been Christmas Day, the day after, and we did a little photo challenge. My daughter and I kind of went around the neighborhood and tried to catch pictures. We brought them back and said, which one's better? And my daughter completely embarrassed me. She was completely better in all aspects, and I had no idea how to control the camera. But so we did this little challenge of searching for color. So it's December,
Oh, yeah.
there's no color out, there's no trees. And so we went around the neighborhood trying to catch colors. And I remember my favorite picture of the day was there's an abandoned barn down the road. And so I started taking pictures, and I found some remnants of colors. The barn used to be painted. So I did those, and then I saw one strap, like an old harness, an old horse harness of some kind, in the barn, but we weren't going in it because it was falling down, so I caught one of those. That's probably my favorite first picture.
Okay. So from that first group, do you have something that you think is even better than that out of your work since then?
Yeah, I did a project called 365 to 50. So it was a picture a day from my 49th birthday to my 50th birthday.
Okay.
And I'm surprised how hard that is, first of all. But I ended up catching a couple moments of different things, and the whole project is to have your camera in your hand at least once a day. Mm-hmm. And there were moments where I would just walk by things and go, oh, there it is. That's a picture. But I was always looking for pictures. So I have one that I caught of a student on stage. She was practicing. And I walked by the stage and I was, wow, why is she in there by herself? And I ended up realizing that the other teacher was with her. practicing a duet. But she was on stage all by herself, and I ended up catching her in the spotlight all by herself in an empty auditorium. Love that picture. It's one of those simple, and I, of course, changed to black and white to make it even more simple. But love that picture.
So you mentioned this 365 picture challenge, and you said that it was a bit challenging. What would you say is the most challenging part of that?
Life gets in the way. I mean, there's only so much time in the day, and so normal day I go to work. Sometimes I have an after school rehearsal or another, even a performance, and all of a sudden it's 11:30 at night, and I realize I haven't taken a picture today. So it's hard, to squeeze it in. Now there are times when you're driving by something, and you absolutely pull the car over, stop, take the picture. But I'm kind of not that way. I would pull the car over, take a picture, and then try to get it better. So there are pictures in my 365 that I ended up taking the same picture several times throughout the year because I saw a better day, better weather, light was better, or a friend of ours has horses, and so I would take pictures of them a lot. But occasionally there was great sky, great light, so I'd go back and luckily be there on that day. So that's what's challenging about it, is just being there. And I had my camera with me every day, and to continue to do that. I carry it around all the time.
Oh, very good. And though sometimes when you do force yourself to do something like that, when you do shoot the same thing multiple times, it does really force you to look at it to say, okay, how do I make this set different than that last set? So I imagine there's kind of a benefit.
Yeah, the benefit is learning your camera too. There's no better. Well, my favorite saying in teaching band is practice works. Every time you sit down, try to do better. So absolutely, every time I went to the same kind of scene, I thought about what I started actually where I left off, and I got the settings pretty close, and then made it better.
Now, I believe that your gallery photo was one of these 365 photos,
Right.
Correct? We rarely disclose who picks any particular photo in the area. And I would say of the 15 galleries we've had, I think I've been the first to pick 12. So I've pretty much had my run of selection every single time. And this was one of the times where I was beaten, and I was kind of shaking my fist. But that's okay. I managed to find other good pictures, and the gallery made it wonderful. But tell us a little bit about this particular picture.
Yeah, and this is one of those ones I went out at 3 a.m. I probably was there at 2 a.m. kind of setting up, and it's that farm that I was talking about where the friend has horses, and I went out, set up, trying to get. There's a tree on the horizon that I just love. It's completely dead now, but I love the tree. And so I set up on the hillside, and I went up to the top of the hill, and I was trying to get a couple photos of me on the hill playing. And since it was 3 a.m., I didn't play. Or my friends would have been kind of a little annoyed by that. But I went up and I pretended to play. And I set the timer for every a 10-second exposure, probably 20 in a row. So I had time to walk up the hill, kind of get the idea, set, take pictures. And again, because it's 3 a.m., it's really dark. Yeah. So I had to kind of guess on the exposure and the focus. And so I probably took 500 pictures trying to get the one. But it worked, and then I had to guess with the exposure too, because it's in near McDonald, Pennsylvania. So there were city lights. I'm not sure if it's coming from the airport or McDonald. So city lights. So I had to change the exposure, and but it worked. Yeah.
So you had to remain very still during that
Yeah,
then too.
10 seconds, yeah.
I'm kind of amazed that the edges of your silhouette came out as crisp as they did.
Yeah.
At that point, even the slightest movement.
Well, I tried to focus on the tree
Mm-hmm.
and then tried to remain parallel with that from the camera. So I was able to get the focus of the tree. I could see that. I couldn't see anything else. So, and there were actually horses over the hill from me.
Oh boy!
And they were disturbed by me being in the field. So they were making noises, made me a little bit nervous, but
they never wandered in to ruin that final shot.
No, I actually thought it would be kind of cool if I had a horse in there, but they never came up.
Yeah, sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. And had you ever been in a gallery before you got picked for ours?
No, I mean I've submitted things to local photo contests for fairs and different things. And I've won those in different categories. But you know, there are sometimes you have categories that fit you, and sometimes they don't. This fit me perfectly. I do a lot of photographs of concerts, and not like more student concerts, school concerts, ensembles, and then in the last year I've done a lot of senior photography. But yeah, I haven't entered anything in a contest lately, except for yours. So,
well, thanks for offering it up.
It worked perfectly.
And would you say that that's your favorite type of photography to do, the musical side, or do you have something that you actually prefer, even though you end up doing a lot of the musical photos?
You know what, I like capturing behind the scenes kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
The student that I said was on the stage, it wasn't posed, it wasn't planned, it was just a photo that I caught of a glimpse of something. I really like doing that. Even when I do my senior photography, I like doing the scene photography, but I don't like posing. So we kind of make it an experience, and I catch them in the middle and try to catch personality. That's what I really like. I hate posing.
Understand.
Yep.
And so what's next for you in terms of photography?
Last year was my busiest year for senior photography. So I'm looking to expand that a little bit more and see where that goes.
And where, if we are looking to see more of your work, where can we find that?
My webpage is www.hollphotography.com, Holl with an O.
Very important to make that distinction, or else everybody's going to be finding H-A-L-L.
Yeah.
Social media, Instagram, Facebook, anything?
Yeah, I have a Facebook page as well. My Instagram is Mike Call Photo, and it's MYCALL photo. So Mike Call.
Okay, so we'll have to put those up on the screen.
Yeah.
That way we won't confuse.
Well, it is tough having a name that's mispronounced all the time. Simple but mispronounced. So.
These things happen. Is there anything else that you see coming up that you want to add?
No, I'm just always trying to figure out something new and learning as much as possible.
Great. Well, thanks for coming on the show with us. Thanks for submitting your photo to the gallery. If you'd like to see any of the photos, they probably won't be up by the time this airs, but come on down to our gallery in Shadyside. It's the only open-air photography gallery in the city. If you'd like to see more from us, don't forget to subscribe to our video feed here. If you're watching this on YouTube, there's a little bell somewhere up on the screen, one of these directions that lets you get notified every time we post a new video. If you have anything that you'd like to see, anything that we haven't done, anything that you really want to call us out for doing wrong, feel free to throw it in the comments. That's what we're there for. And one of us will get back to you at some point. And we can always be reached there on our own Facebook page. And for the time being, we'll close out this interview and move on to the next segment. Thank you all for watching. See you next time.
Captured Pittsburgh Darkroom is produced by Jason Fait, Adam Thomas, and Jason Kodat. Captured Pittsburgh Darkroom is a Captured Cities production, copyright 2018.